players here today.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got some good ones from what I've heard. They got Nanomech, Sora, who I'm sure is very happy with the recent news and recent release of Sora in Smash Bros.
Sora popping off right now.
Umami, Heckler, and Draco Leon. So we're gonna be seeing some interesting characters on these rosters as well. Hawaii giving a fair shake last week, I believe, but they had to face against the behemoth that is DePaul. But we're going to be seeing them this time around. We got Volt on Cloud versus Sora on Byleth this time around. So, it'll be interesting.
This matchup is a little bit interesting. I'd just argue like Cloud by virtue of just having some better stats, and then like some maybe more like easier jump-ins can really pressure Byleth and get her cornered really quickly. But right now they're both just sort of feeling each other out, just seeing how they want to move, what their options are going to be.
The silver lining here also is that Byleth, I feel like, can have such a decent advantage state as well. Take advantage of a lot of the things that Cloud struggles with a little bit, as well as is able to keep a pretty healthy mid-range against Cloud if the moves are spaced correctly. That being said, though, Volt, already a very hot start right here.
Oh, and that spacing on the back hit was amazing, able to punish the roll on reaction. And right now just swinging for the defense, trying to find this Tomahawk side B, but Swallow plays really patiently, still going to be living the dash attack. We are on Battlefield after all, and finally gaining a bit of space for themselves.
Oh yeah. Okay. Nice empty hop up smash there. Really good option from Volt. It's going to be taking this first stock and almost getting limit on deck as well. It's going to make Cloud a little bit better statistically, but also provide some nice special punishes right here, as we saw right there.
Just double jumping back on immediately to the top platform, knowing that Byleth can only hard commit to an up air if she already knew where Volt was going. So now, when you just jump like that with your back facing the opponent, the immediate instinct is they want to shield like you're falling back in. That was one of the most confident run-up grabs I've seen in a minute.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, what a spot dodge right there from Volt. That could have been so bad for them had they caught that, but already looking really good so far. Just looking a lot more evasive, I think, than Sora has been. He's been able to really just close in this space as well and just get such solid, consistent damage off. Already 50 racked up on Sora and just been catching these jumps so nicely with Cross Slash.
I don't know if neutral is safe enough to, completely avoid up B, but I feel like Volt could be going for some up Bs out of shield in response to neutral hitting the gun. But you know what? There really is nothing to criticize because they're doing everything correctly. Look how confidently they're controlling the stage. Sora needs to quit rolling in.
Oh man, yeah.
There it is.
And rolling they did right there as Volt cleans it up with the JV3. We've seen lots of JV3s today. I think I haven't seen this many JV3s in rapid succession in a very long time.
Ever. Period. I don't think I've ever seen this many JV3s. I've seen a lot of 3-stocks back to back. I have not seen so many JV3s. Wow, that was good. Volt played back. Volt was just able to catch onto every single little habit exhibited by Swallow. I think specifically the rolls at ledge or neutral get up into roll were the only two options at ledge that Swallow was opting for. I think something that's really interesting to note is that because of the way that Volt was treating the ledge, because of the way that Volt was constantly at roll distance, a lot of Byleth, typical ledge play, which is, to try to plank with side B, is no longer applicable and would just force yourself to regrab, and it really does nothing for you. I really just think Volt played this so well and adapted to the play the best they could.
I feel like there could be a little bit more mix-ups coming out of Sora. I feel like we could be seeing more up Bs to the ledge or whatever to get additional jumps. Just find some way to circumvent because they've been rolling out of the corner every single time. You've got to find different options. It can be difficult against Cloud because his ledge trapping is so strong, but you can find your way out of those situations. It's not impossible.
For sure. So going into game number 2, I just want to see Sora be able to slow it down a little bit, at least be able to throw out hitboxes that are safe and unpunishable. The short hop at a good long distance, you can whiff him, you can mash him, but I feel like one of the biggest issues was that Sora was just, they never had enough space or time for themselves to opt for a lot of normals. And the only time they did, they really committed super hard to a rising neutral in really predictable positions.
Oh yeah. And it looks like we're getting into it. I feel like they're gearing into the... they're getting up into this next game right here. Entered the arena. We're good to go. all strapped up. I want to see if we're going to see a character switch coming out of Sora, because I know they play other characters. I don't think so, though. I hear the Fire Emblem sound effects coming out, and we got Lucina now. We got a brand new character on deck. I think Lucina definitely, at a face value, will be better equipped to deal with Cloud than Byleth was.
Lucina can definitely out Cloud super well, and also Lucina, just by virtue of having such a quick little up B out of shield, you gotta really make sure that your timings are on point. But again, Sora rolling and dashing out of the corner, they need to start jumping, they need to start walking, they need to sometimes also just wait a little bit longer. Otherwise, Volt is gonna keep landing these F smashes, Volt is gonna keep landing these cross slashes.
Oh yeah. Alright, Volt with limit once again. And already the first stock taken off of Sora, so I feel like the lead will grow ever more from here on out.
Volt's grabs have just been on point all day, and what a
parry
parry!
that? How do you parry Dolphin Slash? That move was like almost impossible to parry.
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft.
That's the only
They're weaving spells out here in Hawaii.
Right now, this is at the edge guard that you really gotta go for. I love the attempt from Sora, but then just slightly misspacing it. But that's exactly how you have to play the matchup against Cloud. You have to understand that he has no ability to press any buttons whatsoever. You just gotta go after him.
It seems like Sora has just been committing to a lot more reads and a lot more just high committal options, as opposed to Volt, who's been playing a lot more reactively this time around. And against Cloud, you do have to play reactively. You can't really play read-based. You can't really try to predict where he's going to land. You more so just have to act in accordance to what he's going to do. The biggest thing you can do in terms of a call-out against Cloud is call out his jumps. You know, there are characters that can air-to-air with him very well, because a lot of Cloud's openings are going to be initiated with him jumping first and trying to do a landing aerial.
Oh, that runoff, just to be able to force a high recovery, double jumps back on, gets Sora at the ledge, and there is that roll from ledge again. Volt keeps positioning himself to catch it. Back throw into cross slash.
Wow.
Volt has places to be.
Places to be indeed. I mean, it's still pretty early in Hawaii right now in the day. But over here it's 10 p.m. So really, really good.
Got a whole day ahead of them.
Got class, maybe. Got class. What time is it in right now in Hawaii, actually?
Something o'clock for sure.
It's almost it's 4 p.m. It's 4 p.m. in Hawaii right now, which is insane. That's actually crazy. Hawaii has like their own time zone, I'm pretty sure.
I love this fact that you like really like marveled by the fact that time zones exist. You're like, oh, let's go.
No, but their own time zone. Like they don't have to share with nobody.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, with that being said, you know what that means. We have concluded the first match already. A 7-point lead is going to be phenomenal. Such a beautiful way to start. We're going to see you guys in just a couple of minutes while we do decide the next couple of players. So don't go anywhere quite yet. Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to University of South Alabama going up against University of Hawaii. We got Staryu Kami going up against Gray. Sean, Cautious Fang, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling a little nervous, a little cautious.
A little cautious.
I think that I feel like University of South Alabama has to tread carefully here. Hawaii had a pretty solid lead starting off.
Yeah.
And we don't want to see them extend it here, or else South Alabama is going to be in trouble.
Already kind of in a bit of trouble themselves. A 7-point deficit to start off with is quite a bit, because that means I was a 3 and a 2 stock back to back without dropping a single game.
That's kind of crazy.
It's kind of nuts.
That's kind of bonkers, if I do say so myself. Volt with a very hot, explosive start off there for Hawaii. We're gonna see if Staryu Kami can clean it up against Gray, who I believe plays Pokemon Trainer. So definitely have to watch out for that.
I will also say and ask for everybody in chat's forgiveness for our, for us sort of slowly losing our composure over the course of the evening.
It just get a little more goofy.
We've been sitting at these seats for the last 6 hours, so my entire psyche has been unraveling. Once we start making critical references, it's over. So, okay, Pokemon Trainer Lucina. This is like one of those matchups where having so much ground speed, having so many safe tilts, it lets you get in on Lucina so consistently and easily.
Yeah, this matchup I like Squirtle to start off with extremely, just because it's a lot easier for him to get in. It's not very difficult for Squirtle to get in, stays very grounded, whereas Lucina, a lot of her options to initiate will be falling aerials or tilts traditionally. And we saw how good Gray was last time, so we're going to see if they can really make up for it this time. And already
no double jump off stage. Is this going to be the down air? A little bit too soon on pulling the trigger. Really good stuff on Staryu Kami for going for like a high up B that would put them above the stage. That's exactly how you want to do it.
Oh, wow, actually falling for the counter right there when they could have grabbed and gotten more stage control off of that. Gray, though, calling out that jump with up air really, really nicely. That was really good.
Gets it down throw into the neutral that's going to be putting on good damage. And what an up air into the up B. These extensions are absurd.
And like we said, Gray, very, very powerful with this Ivysaur. We talked about what Mon a lot of players favor. Gray's Ivysaur is probably one of the best in this league right now, honestly. Yeah, there's a lot of PT players in this league as well. Very, very common character in Smash Brothers. That's good.
But no, the advantage has been dominant. The control of the stage, the follow-ups, the option coverage, really good shield there, and also phenomenal reverse up B. But that is not going to matter as Gray still shugs out that kill.
Oh my god. I mean, in Tri-State, we've seen enough back throw from Charizard to know what's coming next. But
Beast still gives us flashbacks. Every time I see Charizard grab him, it's like, what's happening?
I get terrified. I get terrified every time I see it.
I feel a shiver down my spine.
Shiver.
I also really like how Gray is alternating the mid-range options. If you notice, it's almost always a short hop back, falling forward, short hop back, razor leaf. And as a result, Staryu Kami has not found the solution to being able to cover both.
God.
What an uphill into the up B. But those up B nerfs from long ago coming in a little bit clutch for Staryu Kami. But you know what? Another jump lead with up air. Wow.
Sheesh. Gray coming in guns blazing right now. This does not bode very well for University of South Alabama if things keep going this way, because that was powerful advantage right there from Gray. Really didn't skip a beat, called out every jump successfully. I feel like Staryu Kami is going to have to start playing a little more grounded, start using more spacious holding options that hold you down a bit more, like neutral air in place or down tilt, not just constantly trying to jump through the pressure every single time.
I feel like a really big thing was just managing some of your ledge options, like just as you mentioned, because I do feel like even though some of Staryu Kami's recoveries were really, really solid, there was a lot of decision-making error in terms of constantly opting for not just jumps, but the same timing of jumps. Jumps from ledge are one of the most difficult to punish options in the game. The fact that Gray was able to get so many up airs as Ivysaur at the exact timing that they needed is very indicative of the fact that they have the timing on lock. So you gotta mix it up, you gotta be fresh, you gotta throw out different ledge options, you gotta know what to mix between, and you gotta change up that timing.
For real. So, very curious to see what adjustments Staryu Kami is gonna make in this next game because that, Gray was just, again, looking so dominant, calling out options well. The Ivysaur play was ridiculous. The only struggle Ivysaur, one of the big struggles Ivysaur has is getting called out for his jumps a lot of the time. Well, Ivysaur gets a lot of initiation off of jumps and falling fair and falling Razor Leaf and even just jumping for up air and other moves like that. You want to be able to call that out effectively if you wish to punish him. And I feel like Star Okami was going about that a little less favorably than they should have been.
Yep. So going into game number 2, seems like we're going to be opting for Battlefield. Again, I feel like this is Pokemon training on Battlefield. It still seems like a really good stage matchup considered. And look at those up airs into the back air. Squirtle looking like Mario.
Oh yeah, he's got the combos. Every Mon has some great sense of advantage in this game. It's actually insane how they designed them all to really be explosive on startup percentages. A lot of characters are, but I feel like the Pokemon trainers, Pokemon especially, are like super lethal in certain situations.
I love the fact that this is the music. This is making me so happy right now. This is amazing decision making. And Gray going for it all with the downer, a couple of frames and pixels away from it connecting, but then ended up getting stage spiked.
Whoa.
What a tragedy.
Gray called out the tech in place, but didn't time the F smash just right. I'm not too sure how many frames you have to punish tech in place traditionally.
Not a whole lot. I
think it's very slim. But
the timing is pretty tight.
The thing is, there are a lot of options in this game that are quite active that can cover tech in place pretty seamlessly. I just don't think Squirtle F smash is one of those. Oh, see ya. I don't know why they gave Squirtle good back throw because he's a small little guy. He's got that's all that core strength he has.
I don't know what kind of exercises and training they've been doing, but wow,
There's a six-pack under that shell.
Squirtle's physical attack, it goes insane. It's not that good, actually, if you look at it. It's pretty sucky because he is a, unevolved Pokemon. But yeah, that being said, Gray off of the ledge, just waiting and timing the get-up attack so well. Now just playing back. That dash back into the grab, again, they're mixing up the mid-range options so often that Star Okami is never ready for what's next.
It was really good conceptually by Gray. I guess that just Dolphin Slash was a lot faster. But Star Okami looking a lot better this time around, trying to call out these jumps from Gray a lot of the time.
This grab again.
Punish! That was F smash.
I like the fact that Gray didn't know if they had enough time to go for it, so they just went for the least committal option. It's okay because they still have this lead, they still have this advantage state. I lied. I capped. I was capping. It lost the talk first, but Charizard up throw, coming in clutch.
All right, one stock to one stock. It's a potential here for Star Okami to bring this back, which would honestly help out University of South Alabama a lot because they just can't let these sets fall too far out of their favor. But Star Okami honestly doing a lot better than they were game 1.
Trying to get something started like a rising forwarder, but not tight enough to be able to get the grab. But now, here it comes, those Squirtle combos, but especially important, now Star Okami is stuck in the corner trying to find a way to be able to land.
Oh my. A little bit of a whiff punish right there at that waterfall. However, Squirtle can just get back in the fray quickly enough. And I love the tracking Gray has been doing on Star Okami. Not letting Star Okami get too much time to really get themselves resituated after taking that initial interaction. Gray's just been on them. Oh, that's a kill. That's a stock right there if I've ever seen one. Yeah, gotta look out for those jab locks to Squirtle at those high percentages. Who said Squirtle?
I don't think anybody's ever said that.
I love how happy Squirtle is.
Look at him go. That's my little guy.
He's having a blast. He's so happy to be here.
He's so good. He's a good little guy. I love him.
Good little guy. I feel bad when he gets hit. He has pure pain on his face when he gets hit. He looks like he's in absolute anguish right now.
That being said, once again, really good stuff to University of Hawaii. Now this lead is just growing over University of South Alabama. They really got to get something done quickly because if University of Hawaii, after this point, gets anything more than 4 points, they will have an unattainable victory. So maybe we'll be seeing a perfect win this time around with University of South Alabama not amassing a single point. We shall see in just a couple of minutes when we do come back with our next set of players. So stay tuned. And we are back, gamers, with our third match of the evening between these two schools. Do I have confirmation on the player names? No, for they are not on the sheet.
Tartar sauce.
That is okay. Tartar sauce.
Darth
Indeed.
Wampa playing Link versus.
Versus.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. So let's just go ahead and occupy our time. Okay, so we got Darth
Nanomech.
Wampa going up against Nanomech.
Playing. It's gonna be Link versus
Roy. It's gonna be Roy. So Link and Roy.
Link and Roy.
This should be like a pretty good matchup, you know, all things considered, for like Roy when it comes to like jumping in.
I agree.
I don't know what's going on.
Tactical strategy right here. Just run the clock. I'm here for it.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-dum, ba-ba-ba-dum-ba-dum.
I love the clopping of their feet. A little pitter patter.
Pretty sound effects. Oh, it was PS2. So why is nobody SDing? Get it to it, yeah. This is the time. Okay, so let's cut back to Chaos for a second.
Man.
I suppose they are having some difficulties with the stage because apparently there was a slight little mishap on the bands.
A little oopsie.
A little oopsie. A little poggy woggy.
Little oingo boingo.
Yeah. Little Yankees flaky. Okay. So they had a mishap on which stage that they're going to be going to. It is A-okay. They're going to be quickly. We're going to get right back to Pokemon Stadium 2. So let's talk about this matchup a little bit. In my mind, in my funny little brain, I think, ooh, Roy fast, Roy button safe on shield, jump in, press, press, press. And really the struggle for Link is going to be able to like pinpoint your boomerangs and your arrows and everything that you want to do around Roy's movement, which is no easy task.
Speaking of easy tasks, how about picking that stage? We're getting to PS2. sounds like a good, easy task to me.
We'll cut to a break. I think.
No, wait, no, we're getting into it. We're going.
I think they got it. Let's go.
Roy versus Link. Definitely, I think Roy favored. It's just Roy has just such explosive advantage on Link. The buttons are faster in terms of swords. I'm sure there are ways that Link can keep Roy at bay, given Boomerang, but Roy just has really no difficulty navigating through zoning tools in general, so...
Oh, that counter was really, really smart, actually. But now, Nanomech just trying to be able to land from that platform. Darth Wampa with a couple of really, really key jump callouts, but not recognizing that the Boomerang was coming back to them, and ended up wasting all of that momentum. Why is Roy have to yellow?
He's fighting for his life. At least Link gets to respawn, you know. If you die in Fire Emblem, you're dead. You're gone. You're not coming back.
If I was fighting for my life, like thinking like, so then what happens when Roy loses a stock? Is it just
it's
like
a new Roy?
It's a new Roy. It's a different personality.
Throw out the old model and bring in the new one.
You know that Star Trek theory that's like every time somebody gets teleported, like, you know, it's basically like a new consciousness and the old one basically dies off. That's exactly what's happening here with different stocks in Roy. Anyways, Nanomech getting a little bit too pressy on Darth Wampa shield, getting the jump called out, but not dying quite yet, but with no double jump, this should be it.
That's where Roy struggles the most, is just without a double jump or just, you know, trying to get back to stage a lot of the time. His recovery is quite linear, so you need to mix it up a little bit. It's got a really good hitbox rising, so it can honestly deal with a lot of things if spaced correctly. But there are certain situations where he can just get called out because he's so fast in the air. So Nanomech has to be very careful and cognizant of that.
I like the way Nanomech was putting themselves, like maybe like trying to scout out an F-tilt, but either way, Darth Wampa going to be retorting with their own F-tilt to reverse up B, sending Nanomech off stage. That neutral air denial is exactly what they needed, just to barely push Nanomech just far enough. That was a brilliant F-tilt. That was so good.
And we're seeing, you know, some scrapping going on between these two. However, I feel like Darth Wampa has been able to keep Nanomech in disadvantage a lot better than Nanomech has done to Darth Wampa. Oh my. This bomb is in Boomerang are just murking things up right here for Nanomech. They're already at 63 off that fresh stock.
Well, that neutral could have been so big, but I don't think Nanomech reacted to them getting the hit fast enough. That should typically be like another neutral. You can string them along, you can get an up air afterwards. But either way, now they're starting to fish through this combo starter a little bit too much.
Okay. All right. I'm seeing lots of good choices from Darth Wampa. You know, not doing anything too flashy, just keeping it really simple. I love the nairs to edge guard. Wow. Just solid play from Darth Wampa right here. And this is the third set, Dara. Like if University of South Alabama drops this game right here, that's it. That's the whole set. That's the whole series.
It's do or die right now, right? So you got to be able to get at least a couple of points onto the board so that you can make it a little bit more manageable for your team. Yeah. With that being said, it was a pretty confident game. It seems like Darth Wampa has a very good idea of how they want to be edge guarding Roy, how they want to be like keeping their advantage. One big thing for Nanomech is I feel like they could be like a little bit more tight with some of the like jump fast fall neutralers. That's your big opening as Roy. You got to recognize when you hit somebody's shield because it's way too safe. You got to recognize when you hit somebody so that you can string along a couple because Roy is all about advantage state. He's explosive. He's fast. He's supposed to get in there and do copious amounts of damage. And it is your obligation as a Roy player just to be able to push that as far as it goes. And I just feel like Nanomech was not getting every single last drop of juice from the fruit of Roy's nair.
Oh, yeah. So I feel like they're going to have to manage their disadvantage a little bit better next time in Nanomech because, again, like you said, Dar, this is do or die. You know, you can't really afford to be making mistakes anymore at this juncture. Hawaii's got a stacked roster, honestly, with them this season around, so you really got to be careful with those guys.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like we are going to opt to go through Town and City. Town and City is the classic Roy stage. That is the place that you want to be. It is so good. Because you can get such early kills on the sides. You can kill people at like 40, 50, you know, off of techs. Town and City should be an instant ban against both Roy and Crom. This should be like, hey, I am never going Q to the stage.
Oh, wait, I'm supposed to be noiseless.
I just realized, it took me a second. So for all those that are uninitiated, by the way, we have randomly generating adjectives next to our tags. That's how you know I'm always spitting, by the way, because I'm a truthful debater.
Truthful. I don't know how you know that I'm noiseless, but I'm dabbed. I feel like commentators are supposed to be the exact opposite of that. Either way, we got Nanomech switching to Terry. I don't know. I think the disadvantage might be a little bit better to manage because Terry has very finite things he's supposed to do in disadvantage, such as burn knuckle, to power dunk, into up B, or just any amount of those. Like he's got a fair amount of mix-ups on his recovery, given his specials. All aid him in his recovery in some aspect.
Yeah. So this is going to be a comfort pick. I would have really stuck with Roy on this stage just because it is Roy on Town and City. This is where he's just able to basically cheat, the most consistent. But right now, Darth Wampa playing a really good keep-away game. Like, the approach options, the neutralers, all the boomerangs, everything that Darth Wampa is going for is connecting.
It's all about, I'd say, how Nanomech navigates through the zoning now, because now that you don't have the luxury of speed that Roy has, you need to now play against zoning tools like Link Boomerang, like Link Arrow, like Remote Bomb. You need to find some sort of solid solution in that. You probably won't be getting edge guarded by Nair anymore, but you're definitely going to have to watch out a lot more for options that are going to stifle your approach game.
Good patience from Darth Wampa, recognizing that, when it's a Terry that has go and they're at like mid to long distance, they want one thing, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Probably one of the most satisfying confirms to land in the game, though, is either Power Geyser or Buster Wolf. Mm-hmm. Those moves look so flashy. Yeah, Nanomech doing a lot better this time.
Nanomech, I like the fact that they're respecting like Darth Wampa's uppy getting back onto the stage, but I'm surprised at that power dunk. I think it's because it hit the top of Link's shield, and like not the very edge of it, that it was like just that unsafe.
Darth Wampa trying to go for really early edge guards right here, and why not? You can definitely afford to do so when you're stock up. That being said, we saw things going okay for Nanomech first stock last game, and they kind of fell apart, but this time, things are looking a fair amount more even.
Ooh, trying to go for a couple of back airs, gets the down throw, but does not find the up air I'm curious as to why that is.
Oh, what? A little bit of missing these confirms here from both of these guys, and I feel like after that up air, Nanomech was able to get an up B right immediately after that, because Terry, like most other characters, can cancel his normals to specials, which is something that only the fighting game characters possess.
Oh, what a confirm the returning boomerang into up smash. Good awareness from Darth Wampa, just knowing that Nano Mech would get hit by that in the moment. This is the time that you really want to go. You gotta catch this high recovery, only getting fair one because the spacing was just slightly off. What's gonna be the play here? This should be the kill, but only goes for the grab instead of like a run up B, playing it safe.
Oh yeah. When we're waiting, Nanomech does have Go on lock, and that does have armor on it, so it can definitely power through a lot of these projectiles as well. But the falling bear into up B, that was a really nice confirm by Darth Wampa right there.
We're just finally finding that big opening with the close range boomerang into the bomb and the up air. With like not going through the F smash 2 that Nanomech was anticipating. Wow, Darth Wampa's mix is so good.
Yeah, Darth Wampa looking really good this game, honestly. Every time Go has been a active threat to him, just been able to really maneuver around it.
That time neutral is going to be trading with it, which is so scary. Goes
That
for
bomb is
another.
gone. Ooh, boy. Oh, that almost hit.
But you know what? Neutral more than enough to be able to close it out. And now that does put, yeah, that does indeed put the University of Hawaii in an unattainable lead with 18 points to 0. Because even with a double 3-stock, that's going to put University of South Alabama at a mere 16 points. So really good stuff to Hawaii. That means they have won. And we are now simply going to be playing for points here onwards. So do you have any thoughts before we cut to a quick little break?
I think one thing Nano Mech could have done a little bit better is just kind of respect a lot of Link's ranged options a little bit more. Know your confirms, be confident in them, and just try to be more disciplined, because you were getting called out for a lot of jumping back to stage or really mismanaging your disadvantage. Not getting hit is just as important as hitting people in this game.
Absolutely.
With that, we're going to shoot right over to a little break right here. Unfortunately for South Alabama, that's going to be the end of their potential to win this series, but they can still play for points, which will add up at the end of the season. So we'll be seeing you guys real soon. Go.
Alright, gamers, we're back. Once again, University of South Alabama has already been declared as... Well, wait, hold on. Is it 14 points, or is it...
They are the winner. They
University
win.
of Hawaii should have 18 points. And University of South Alabama should have
Oh, in the
0.
score sheet they do. Maybe
Yes.
not.
That means they have an unattainable lead for themselves. The match that we have upcoming is going to be Altair going up against the one and the only Red Rhino.
Red Rhino. Not sure who Red Rhino plays. But I believe who's Altair play? I forgot. I've seen them play before, literally. Oh
Altair
man.
seems to play
Oh god.
not listed in the sheet, so I would not be able to tell you. And it seems like Red Rhino.
I'm gonna say Lucina. I don't know why. Let's say Lucina. That's my guess. That's my hot guess. That's my guessy.
Yeah.
Hey, I was
hey.
wrong. Red Rhino gonna be on Lucina. They're gonna be seeing Altair on K-Rool, who is the receiver of some nice, fresh, clean buffs. For some reason, they keep buffing this character.
I don't get it. I do not
don't
understand
understand.
why this is necessary. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine because it's K-Rool at the end of the day. Right now, Altair, just trying to, maybe get some sort of a setup going with Crown, like maybe Crown to upper, Crown to forward, something along those lines. Red Rhino keeps on falling for like a couple of those hits, but that time, that was a really nicely timed punish.
Oh yeah. And they're looking good so far, just kind of doing what Lucina does best in these matchups, which is just spacing out K-Rool's jumps and stuff like that. Intercepting a lot of what they're doing. Altair trying to find something started here. Oh man, I like the option to go for drop-off nair there, just because belly armor can kind of tank right through Dolphin Slash if placed correctly. So that necessarily wasn't a bad idea.
Backs up a little bit, just sitting patiently though. And finally gets Red Rhino off stage one more time. And this is where K-Rool really succeeds. And it is setting up a menacing ledge trap. Who knows what they're going to be going for? He tries to go for the F-tilt. I like the idea, but a beautiful parry is going to be exactly what they need to reset neutral.
Oh yeah. All right, we're seeing Red Rhino just, doing a good job spacing out, not taking any large committals right here. I like this. Lucina played best, often played reserved, just looking for any openings you can find until you get your one winning aerial right here. It can be tough against K-Rool though, who's got confirms like that. Especially at the higher percents, you need to be able to finish your food. I want to see some maybe edge guards from Red Rhino, just something, just capitalizing on big openings here, because you can do that. Lucina has that luxury against K-Rool.
Yeah, for sure. And now Red Rhino just trying to find any way that they can be able to close out the stock. Picking up the crown here can be actually so important. You've got to make sure you have it in your hand. That is how you prevent any unnecessary damage from happening to you. You don't have to really worry about King K-Rool's side B. I would like to see them go off for a ledge hang back here or for a counter.
I don't know if counter would necessarily kill just because of how the hitbox is upward. I do like edge guarding. I do like aerials. I do like dropping off of ledge and doing back airs and stuff like that. That's where King K-Rool is at his most susceptible.
All you gotta do is just hang on to the ledge and try to drop down, double jump back here, and then up B to safety. As long as you got that timing down, it can be a pretty consistent and easy edge guard on King K-Rool.
Right now, Altair looking good. Just getting more consistent damage. Red Rhino kind of struggling to find their way in just a little bit here. Crown can be difficult to navigate through, but K-Rool is locked in that animation for quite a bit. You can typically just jump right over it. Get maybe sort of a grab punish if you don't want to deal with the armor that he does have on Crown. And that is not what you want to do in that situation right there. If you're Red Rhino.
Yeah, not at all right now. Alter just dashing back and forth. I want to see University of South Alabama get at least a couple of points onto the board.
Just a crumb.
A game.
All Rhino needs is a few solid edge guards, you know? Oh, no.
Here it is. I mean, that's a solid edge guard from Altair.
No. Not good. Very sad. This is quite unfortunate for Red Rhino.
Yeah, that was a little bit tragic. Altair going to be amassing just another 2 points onto the board already for University of Hawaii. I feel like a big thing is against King K-Rool is just playing patient enough until you know that there is an opening. If a King K-Rool presses side B a neutral, you gotta know how to jump over it. You gotta know how to be able to grab King K-Rool while you still have the time, and pummel until you can use your throw armor to get past the returning Crown rank. That is such an important thing that you need to implement to be able to punish it. You really should not be the one swinging first unless you have a really good idea of how King K-Rool is going to jump. And even when King K-Rool does jump, they sometimes just immediately go for, like, neutral and end up belly armoring through whatever you have planned. So you got to play second beat a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah. And I think Red Rhino started off well is that they just kept backing off when they were confronted with Crown. Like, Crown isn't necessarily a projectile you have to respect. You have to respect it in terms of it coming back to hit you, but in terms of jumping over it, it's quite linear. So you can jump over it, get a grab off or something in the meantime. Just use your tomahawks. I feel like tomahawk grab is a very, very good option to use against that. You can also just get your damage off, you know, just land with Dare, land with Fair, just get solid damage off before that Crown comes back to hit you.
Yeah, absolutely. Going into game number 2, I just want to see a little bit more careful management of the Crown and hanging at ledge and getting those drop down double jump back here. So seems like we are going to be going to small battlefield. I don't know how I feel about the stage choice. I feel like King K-Rool does really well here, just being able to tuck himself onto the platform and keep himself nice and safe. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum.
I'm vibing.
I'm vibing too. Listen, it's been a very long day. My ability to pad and add time has really truly quite diminished over the course of the day. But I just want to say, hey, if you guys have not been hydrating yourselves, you should go ahead and do so.
I haven't been. I should be. Should be more often. It's really good. It can keep your energy up. Water is your savior. Diminishing term.
The light in my eyes is dying.
I am every Fang. Everyone. You can't. There's no other. Like, if you think of any Fang, that's me. I'm all of them. Name
every
one.
Single last one.
Name a Fang. You can't. They're all me.
Alright, gamers. We're getting into it. Game number 2 between Altair and Red Rhino.
Red Rhino.
So, once again, from Red Rhino, just like to see a couple more jumps over the projectiles, being able to manage Crown Rank, and then going off stage for some really important edge guards.
And we're getting into it right now. Okay, looking pretty good so far. Honestly, for Red Rhino, you know, finding the straight aerials, and it looks like they've already started adapting a little bit. That was a very unfortunate hurtbox shifting right there for Red Rhino, but Altair gonna be finding themselves a nice advantage right here. K-Rool ledge trapping, really scary actually.
Altair almost found that kill confirmed, the returning Crown Rank into the F tilt like that. That would have been so scary. They had the right idea and everything too. And gets the down air trade on Lucina up B. That is no easy task. That move is fast.
That is hard. What great timing right there from Altair. They buffed the Croc.
Well, going for the up throw though from the blunderbuss was actually really smart because it just kept Red Rhino locked on the platform. Maybe the worst place for Lucina to be in general, like position-wise.
Altair finding the straight hits very easily right now on Red Rhino. Red Rhino managing to get back, getting the back air off right there, and we're gonna see how they manage this edge guard. Okay, that was good. I like that a lot.
That's a good way to treat it, but again, like the optimal like choice would be to go for like an instant ledge hang, and then drop down double jump back air to get behind Kegel and send him off stage.
Okay, I don't know about the counter right there from Red Rhino. You know, you don't really want to be throwing it out of neutral.
You want to be throwing it out when you're confident that your opponent is going to swing. But Altair slowed down the pace, was waiting for Red Rhino to whiff something, and boy did they whiff with like a counter.
It happened. I think the best place to do it is when you're recovering aggressively and your opponent's like, okay, well, I'm going to prep for them to land unsafely on stage right now. And then you throw out counter at the last minute. That's like the most consistent way I've seen a lot of players get counters off. Oh my.
Staying really patiently, and Shield is able to find the dash attack afterwards as a punish. I like the delayed timing, but you can't jump, you can't dash in there. You have to jump in place and then slowly drift above King Kegel. Don't worry about punishing it, just worry about getting yourself not hit.
All right, though, one good edge guard here for Red Rhino could hopefully
it.
steal this stock off right here. And yeah, no tech coming out from Altair right there.
I saw Red Rhino go off. I saw them try to like double jump like to the ledge, and then they went over the stage, and I was like, should have just hung on there.
All right, I like the attempt right there, but little brazen. I feel like, you know, Altair just needs to keep using Crown or Blunderbuss to really secure this damage right here, because they've been going for a lot of F-tilt, a lot of smash attacks, but none are really hitting right now. I mean, they've still been winning advantage fairly consistently, and that's going to be the stock right there. Altair just piling on to the lead that Yu Hawaii has already. This is a bloodbath.
Yeah, Altair just played that so well. They were able to find all of their hits. They were managed to keep they managed to play keep away. They found a 2-frame on Lucina with downer, which does not happen ever, like often. 2-framing Lucina is almost impossible, just because of how quick that up B is and like how generous that hitbox is. With that being said, we are going into a final match of the evening. Let's see if University of South Alabama can get any points onto the board for themselves. Hopefully their anchor will be able to do so. So we'll see you guys in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back, gamers, for the final match of the evening, of the final two schools of the evening. Who do we have coming up? We have Not Christian from the University of Hawaii going up against Umami. By the way, excellent tag.
Umami.
Love that tag. From the University of South Alabama.
Got our last set of the night. We are seeing if South Alabama can get themselves on the board here. Just for a crumb of points. Just for a crumb.
Yep. And you know what? Looking extremely doable, especially with this matchup right now. Pyra Mithra going up against Mr. Game & Watch. I mean, this is a character that can press, that can safely shield pressure. You don't have to worry about up B out of shield, so as long as you're spacing all of your moves well, you can get him off stage, you can do so much. And look at the pressure that Umami is already exerting onto Not Christian.
And the Pyra Mithra really good against Game & Watch. You know, one of the characters that can really just keep tempo with Game & Watch and also just kind of anti-air him quite a bit. You know, that sword length is massive. Lots of really quick aerials coming out of Mithra. She isn't as safe on shield as people would actually think she is, but she has so many options at her disposal to whiff punish somebody.
Absolutely. Going for the dash attack, they're going for another one, just trying to catch Umami in the corner. But now, this is exactly where Pyra Mithra struggles, getting out of the corner and getting back onto the stage. So as long as you can keep up the pressure there and keep pressing buttons, that is exactly where you want to be.
Ooh, nice catch right there by Umami. And Not Christian's definitely going to have to watch their landings just a little bit. Because landing against Pyra Mithra can be very scary.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. The disjoints, the amount of buttons that they can just put out, the amount of kill confirms that they have, especially off of something like down tilt, down, all of these other buttons.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but likewise, Umami's got to watch out those landings too. As we've seen from many prominent Game & Watch players such as Meister, that up smash can be a force to be reckoned with if you run into it. It's really safe, unless you have some sort of disjoint or projectile to really punish Game & Watch for using it. But if you're trying to land on top of him, you're going to be losing most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. But that time we're going right into the neutral B. I like how Not Christian is being as patient as possible with their landings now, just knowing the space between them and Umami, just waiting to cross them up as much as possible.
I'm loving these up air juggles as well. You know, Game & Watch is an advantage monster. Can really keep you juggled in the air for quite a bit if he's able to follow your DI adequately. And Pyra Pyra not as quick in the air as Mithra is traditionally. Oh my gosh. That almost took the stock if they did it again. But again, I'm liking this play from Not Christian. You know, playing a lot more patiently than they were that first stock, just really waiting for Umami to mess up and punishing them in spades.
Yeah, but that time going to be finally amassing a stock lead for themselves, which is so important just to be able to hold on to. And now it seems like Not Christian is the one that's just dominating the pace. Getting some of the defensive options stuffed out by Umami. I just feel like Umami has never been able to get, like, really too much Pyra Mithra stuff going. Right? A lot of down tilts, a lot of forwarders, just being able to get Not Christian off stage.
Oh, yeah.
They're like getting like a lot of one-off hits, but then losing the next interaction instead of like killing the advantage state too far.
I'm loving this chef usage at ledge here from Not Christian. Almost gonna actually get that kill with that up smash there. Really, really good stuff. It's just looking like a struggle for Umami to get in when it shouldn't be. I feel like Pyra and Mithra both have enough tools in their kit to really punish Game & Watch for his commitments, which not a lot of characters can say they can. But Umami's just picking really unsafe landing options.
Jeff, what was that?
The Jeff tilt.
The Jeff tilt. Why?
He Jeff tilted him. I have never seen the Jeff tilt in my life until today. My name's Jeff.
Sean, I despise you. Sure, whatever works. That's a pretty stylish way to take the stock. I've never seen Jeff tilt from Game & Watch. I don't even think it's a thing. I know Jucket's a thing. Jab bucket.
Jucket. The Jucket.
That's a thing for Game & Watch.
With the Jucket?
You can do option selects with Game & Watch Jab.
Sure.
Whatever does the job. Okay, Not Christian getting another 2 points for the University of Hawaii. Now the question is, can University of Hawaii now break total of 30 points?
We're gonna see the shutout. And honestly, maybe. We might see this shutout. You know, it's very, very possible with how Not Christian's been playing. It just seems like University of South Alabama is just outclassed just a little bit here. Might have to go back to the drawing board, work with each other. What can they do next time? It's hard. It's a hard knock life out here.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. It's been a long day. I'm a little bit sleepy. I'm
you
just
like that, like the 1,000-yard Vietnam veteran stand for a second.
God.
Yeah.
I was
remembering the war.
So it seems like they're going to be opting to go for Pokemon Stadium 2.
Man.
Nice stage for Pyramithrid. Like, again, like, you got to get, like, a lot of platform extensions, but I feel like a big thing for Umami was that they were not able to find those down tilts. They weren't able to find, like, a lot of those up tilts. Not a whole lot of those falling aerials to get those big combo starters. I really like how they treated neutral, but they maybe played a little bit too honestly and didn't really get to do what Mithra does.
Here we go. Mithra back on deck to start off with. Again, they're always the preferred starter for a lot of players, except for one player in particular. There's one player in the world whose tag is L-Man who exclusively just plays Pyra, and I think there might be something wrong with them, but either way.
There's like a couple. I know like Onua, for instance, like she really loves like going Pyra exclusively.
I go Pyra when I start because I'm lazy.
It's like the Charizard names.
Like screen.
You know, it's like the people that only play Charizard when they play Pokemon training.
It's true. That has so much distance. That almost hit from under platform all the way to ledge. That was absurd.
This should be a really big punishment, not Christian not falling soon enough to be able to do it. I like that double jump as they wait for Umami just to whiff a button. I feel like Umami could just go for like a couple more guys in aerial sometimes in those positions instead of always going for like an F smash or a neutral B or a side B.
It's just being able to find your way in, you know. Mithra, while being a character that has a lot of strengths, you really need to be able to do solid fundamentals like you would with most sorties, which is finding your falling aerials on the way in, spacing adequately, having good advantage state. You know, these are things that make Mithra strong. Against characters like Game & Watch, you also have to be able to manage your disadvantage well. You know, make sure you're not whiffing in his face because he will be able to punish you out of shield very expertly with that up B.
Now Christian finding the back heel, tries to get a grab out of it, but as soon as they find that big neutral that could be so much damage, doing what Game & Watch does best, setting up a little bit of a juggle, and Umami with the unfortunate SD. Not really sure what happened there because I'm pretty sure they could have just double jumped and up B.
There's just too many large commitments from Umami, I feel like. Lots of these photon edges or lightning busters or up Bs in these interesting locations that aren't really getting anything done. That's an SD. Oh, man.
Yeah, and there it is. That's going to be putting University of Hawaii at, like, what, 31 points?
That was like 31. That's 31-0. That is a complete shutout right there for University of Hawaii. Yeah, if I'm University of South Alabama, I'm definitely going to go back to the drawing board a little bit, just trying to figure out what they did wrong. Definitely maybe study the VOD a little bit, figure out what they can do to do better next time, because honestly it's only up from here. If you get shut out completely, it is only up from here to get yourself points on the board and outplay your future opponents. But congratulations to University of Hawaii with the big 31
That's huge.
Victory. I don't know if we're going to be getting an interview, but if we are, we're going to go to a quick break.
So it does seem like we are going to be doing an interview.
Very cool.
We'll be, of course, interviewing somebody from the University of Hawaii. GG's to everybody today. We'll see you guys in just a couple of minutes with a representative from them. Alrighty, gamers, we are back this time with my little PogChamp Gray from the University of Hawaii.
Oh my god.
You laugh as though something funny just happened. I was introducing them, leave me be. Gray, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing quite alright until that little PogChamp.
See, I told you.
Pause. Here's my
That's what I
first
told
interview
you.
question. What's the issue with that? Come on.
Good question. I don't know. That's a good question. I will let you know when I find the time to do so.
But in all seriousness, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling about the matches that you just played? How are you feeling about this, slight win over the University of South Alabama?
We're feeling good. We all did our parts to like study the matchups, like study the players, their past VODs. We all just did our jobs to grind the game and everything. So I think it was pretty well deserved based on the effort that we put in prior to the match, and we all just did our parts.
It definitely showed. I mean, you guys looked incredibly more disciplined just fundamentally than them. All of you knew, like, in your own way, how to conquer each and every matchup you face today. Like Volt, just with the aggression off stage, you with your very explosive advantage state, Darth Wampa with getting those clutch punishes, Altair with just chipping away, and not Christian just playing a little bit more patiently. You all seemed very well versed in what you had to encounter today, so I want to just take a quick aside, because not any college can get a complete shutout on the opponent, not even letting them slip a single point by all of you guys, so really, really good stuff on that front.
Thank you.
You got another
a
question?
question?
I do, actually.
Go ahead.
So I mean, I'm always wondering, because in Hawaii right now, it's like 5 p.m. right now or something like that, 4 or 5 p.m.
It's 5:06 right now.
How does the timing of this league conflict with your classes at all? Like, are there any issues that arise because of that? Do you have to make any sacrifices in terms of that? Like, how do you cope with the time zone difference between your school amongst all these other schools? Because over here in our neck of the woods, it's 11 p.m. right now, or sleepy time.
Yeah, so it's it actually works out for a lot of our members. We all end class like prior to the match, and so we're able to get like some decent warm up in.
That's tight. That's a good school schedule.
Unfortunately, like one of our members can't make the schedule, so that's an unfortunate loss for us. But other than that, we're just really fortunate that our schedules lined up so that we have a variety of players that we can throw into our matches.
I'm pretty glad to that you guys were able to make it, because you guys had a really amazing showing today, especially a pretty dominating victory. I wanted to ask, who in your team right now do you feel like has like shown the most growth, who's made so many improvements, or have you guys like all kind of progressed the same?
It's a bit early because we're only on week 4 of the EGF, so it's a bit early to see like who's grown the most so far. I think, although if I'm trying to see since like last season, I think that Christian has grown a lot. He didn't start out in a competitive environment at first, so it's really good to see that he's controlling his nerves, doing well when he's thrown in.
He looked really good, honestly. He looked like he was conquering it. Like, that first stock of the first game was a little worrisome, but after that, he really reined it in. Taking on Pyramithra as Game & Watch is not easy, as we've seen from so many majors recently. With just all these Aegis players just slamming Meister. So, I mean, really, really good stuff to him. I guess I'm just going to wrap it up with one more question for you guys. Which teams in this league do you think are going to give you the most trouble? Or do you think that it's GG's? You guys got it. Done deal. No school can compare.
Oh yeah, that second one's a bit of a stretch because you can never be too confident. But I think DePaul definitely one of like the strongest teams that you can see, and then like Mississippi State as well. Like I think those two.
Those are good ones. Those guys have some good players on their roster.
Yeah, like just from fighting DePaul recently, fighting both of them last season. Those were like probably the schools that gave us the hardest time, where it could feel like a crushing defeat, or in fact it kind of was too.
All right, well, hey, you guys got it this week, though. You absolutely, you kind of got them. You kind of got them pretty good this week. So we will hopefully be seeing you next week for another astounding W. Until then, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for your time with this interview. I hope your semester's going well. I hope you're staying somewhat healthy, and we wish nothing but the best for you over here at EGF.
Thank you.
Love that you specified somewhat. So not too healthy around here. We got some gamers out.
It's hard to be healthy in college, bro.
I
you're
agree.
living at home right now, but you've dormed for a semester. You know the pain of campus food and microwave food.
I surely do. But yeah, with that being said, great. Thank you so much for the interview. Once again, good luck to you guys for the rest of the league. Thank you for stopping by. And with that being said, we are finally going to be closing out for the day. Sean and I have been on the mic for about 7 hours time, so it is time for us to bid our farewell. First and foremost, if you're not following EGF official EGF, you should go ahead and do so. Scroll down to the About section, and you'll find all of the links that you could possibly need. Additionally, the stream that you're watching right now is being produced by the finest esports and Super Smash Bros. Production organization, House of 3000, that behind the scenes has done so much amazing work producing the mainstream for so many majors recently, with amazing functions and tools and replays. Shoutouts to Devin, because he's really been putting in the work. And then also shoutouts to my incredible and lovely co-caster, Fang. You can find him at Fan9S on Twitter. He's a really good editor, he's an amazing co-caster, and he's one of my best friends. So you should go ahead and follow him. And then after you've done that, perhaps if you would like, you should follow me on Twitter as well, at Diramgaria. I make really bad tweets quite often, and I cast a lot of video games.
And you're good at it.
I'm getting
pretty good. You're pretty good.
I'm pretty good. Follow literally, honestly, I agree with that statement. I have too many people following me.
I don't know about literally anyone, but you know.
Basically 99% of other people are going to be better candidates. Yeah.
Maybe.
Gamers, good night. I love you all. Stay hydrated, and we'll see you guys next week. Adidas.